What's up guys, Bo here again, and welcome to another Bo Genuine vlog. In this entry, I wanted to talk about cool versus beautiful. Or another way of putting this is coolness versus love or passion, right? Now, as I understand it, when it comes to trends or like interests or passions, right? Everything generally falls into two categories, right? In my mind. This is just one perspective, right? Of course, but like I wanted to give this perspective in this entry, and so you have what is cool, and you have what is passionate, or what you're passionate about personally, right? And like really another way of articulating this is you have what's popular, or what's externally valued, and then you have personal, like a personal passion or something that is individually appealing to you, right, as an interest. And having given you these two perspectives, right, like my point in this video is not to kind of alienate anyone or to devalue anyone. I'm not saying, even though like I'm personally more interested in the things that I personally find to be beautiful, to be interesting, I'm not devaluing the other side of it, right? And in fact, I believe that you need a balance of the two in order to be happy. Essentially, you need to have something you're personally interested in that forms the basis of your identity, right? But then you also need a foot, in the door of like what other people think is interesting, what the world is finding interesting, right? So you need a balance, right? But I guess this video is aimed towards those people like myself who like feel that there is an overemphasis in society towards cool, right? And to be honest, that's just kind of a trait of what makes something cool, right? Something that is cool or popular, right? Something that is trendy, something that is in vogue in that time, whether that be, this can encompass anything, right? Fashion, music, entertainment, like in terms of like films and movies, ideas, memes, anything really, like something that is cool is, what's the word? Is lauded in the mainstream, I should say, in mainstream society, right? A lot of people buy into the image of coolness, right? That's why that's why popular things are popular. It's because it's the way that it works. What it's trying to cater to is like a kind of very broad demographic of people, right? Coolness is externally, like it's a valuing of something that is externally derived, and so like it has to encompass a lot of people, right? And the way that the way that coolness works is like something that is cool, right? So to give you an example, right? You could argue you could argue whether or not this is cool, but like there's a K-pop group called Bangtan Boys, right? And are they B2B? I'm not entirely sure about that. I'm not entirely up to snuff like with my K-pop knowledge, but like Bangtan Boys, they have a song called "Dope," right? And that song to me, like, more or less, obviously there are other examples, but that was just the one that came to my head, right? And it's not even that newer song, but like it's a song that kind of encompasses it's a sign of the times, let's just say, and coolness is very much a sign of the times, right? If you go and watch that video or any other kind of mainstream K-pop video, or even like Western music, right? Watch like the latest music, and you'll get a very good perception of what's cool, right? What's edgy and like trendy, that thing that people like. It's like it creates this temporary kind of desire, like it's new, it's fresh, it's cool, right? That feeling is what is behind anything that is made with this in mind, right? So like you have the things that are cool, right? You have like clothes that are very new and trendy, right? That are advertised on the internet or worn by celebrities, like when they're out and about, or like paparazzi, shoot like gets a shot of a celebrity wearing like the latest fashion, the latest music, the latest genre of music. Like there's like these weird fusions of music where it's like you have like pop with like trap or like dubstep, and you have all of these weird and wonderful like eclectic like mixes of genres nowadays with music, right? And it's all very cool, right? There's a song that I've been listening to recently, which is K-pop again, but like it's by Luna from FX, called "Free Somebody," and like I really like that song. But it's like that song is like the epitome of like, well, you could argue it's more poppy, but like, but aside from its simplicity, which is basically what makes it so universally appealing. Simplicity is like it has to hit home, right? Whereas like with personal taste, like it can be a bit more eclectic and a bit more kind of intricate and like complicated, right? With like mainstream cool stuff, like you need to make it as condensed as possible, right? You need to make it as simplistic as possible, but keeping like the kind of core feel of it alive, right? You have to really push that to the forefront. But yeah, like that song "Free Somebody," that's a really good song. If you like kind of like poppy, upbeat music, then you might like it. But and she's got a great voice as well. But like, yeah, that's another example of cool. What else is there? Gadgets, right? Like people are always looking to get the latest gadget. Oh, the new Samsung is out, the new iPhone is out, the new tablet or whatever it is, like a new car. People I work with, like cars, so they talk about them a lot, or whatever news is happening in the world, like whatever weird and wonderful thing has become viral, on YouTube, for example, or like Instagram or like Snapchat and all of those things, right? People have an insatiable lust in society for new and cool and exciting, right? And that's one side of it, right? That's one thing that people find it appealing, I guess, right? But then there's another side, which is what I call, your personal interest, right? Or the personal love, personal passion, which is something that isn't so rapidly changing as what is cool, right? What is cool is meant to be like something that like is like transient, right? Whereas something that you truly, truly resonate with, like on a personal level, like for example, I find Japanese soundtrack music, like a particular genre, like a particular subgenre of it, or like bossa nova, like a really romantic Brazilian music, it's really calm and nice and chill, like elevator music. Basically, I love elevator music, right? Jazzy, I love it. Smooth jazz, it's great. But that kind of thing, like it's unchanging. It's something that represents like a very specific thing that you will never grow tired of, in a way, But the downside to that is like it's not popular. Not many people know about it. And it's obscure, and like not many people get it, because like you're probably quite into it, and like not many people are as into it as you. It tends to be quite complex. It tends to require like a more refined taste. My taste in music, for example, is very, very nuanced, or like refined, let's just say. I have a very, very particular taste in music, right? Of course I'm open to new things, but like in terms of my core, and this applies to me also, I occasionally check out the latest hit song, right? But like when it comes to the music I truly, truly like as an individual, it's very specific, right? It's very personal to me. The same goes with like games or like shows, anime or whatever it is, right? Like I have a very particular taste when it comes to the things that I truly resonate with, right? And I guess the crux of what I'm trying to say, of the kind of rant I have is like, because there's always a rant that I have, right? I try to present my ideas as objectively as possible, but like I always you always have a personal stance. That's just human nature, right? That's just natural. But like I feel that we should kind of move more from a place of our authentic personal interests, right? Because the world obsesses over what's new, what's trendy. Oh, this thing came out, therefore it must be popular. That's great. Like again, I'm not saying there's no value to it. Of course there's value to it. A lot of innovation comes from that kind of like incessant drive that like cool things have. When you want to be cool, you got to keep pushing forward and like keep being inventive and creative, and like that's great. It creates new things that you can play with, right? So coolness has its place, right? And I respect people who are cool simply by virtue of like the fact that I'm not very cool. Let's be honest, like I don't consider myself to be a very cool person. A lot of people are really trendy. I'm not trendy. Like I do my best to keep up. Like I try not to be like like a purist, or like closed-minded in that way, or like whatever. If I feel something like matches me and it's new and exciting, that's fine. But like I wouldn't consider myself to be a very trendy person, right? So I respect people who are trendy because simply because like I can't do that stuff, right? But yeah, I guess yeah. I mean that's just my rant, I guess. And hopefully that gives you a bit of perspective in terms of like the different things that people connect with, right? There are things that people, obviously there's a cool thing, there's a popular thing. If you go to school, if you're someone who's been to school ever, like you'll know that there are the cool kids and the popular kids, and like they go along with the coolest thing, the newest thing, the trendiest thing, and they set the trends. The trendsetters. So you know very well what is cool. Whether or not you yourself are someone who can follow that kind of thing, right? Actually, thinking back, I made an entry about this. You might want to check out. Like I think it was entitled "Short-Term Validation versus Long-Term Growth" or something like that, right? And it kind of goes into like it gave like a preliminary kind of introduction to like popularity and like things like that. But anyway, but yeah, hopefully also if you have like a very heartfelt passion that you have about something, well, no matter how weird and esoteric and weird and what's the word I'm looking for? Embarrassing. Like no matter what guilty pleasure you have, right? Own it. Like you don't have to like go around showing it to everyone, but like just have a bit more confidence in terms of what you like, right? And like strike a balance, right? Find the things that you love, champion those, follow your passion, and go as deep as with that as you want, really go ham on it because it's your joy, right? It's your love, but like also dip your foot occasionally in what's cool, or if you're someone who like is really cool, like actually that's interesting to me, because I've never asked someone like who is cool and trendy. Like, do you ever have it where like you're kind of lost in that kind of trend-setting vibe and like you always have to chase the newest thing? Don't you ever just want to go back to the things that you really like? Maybe I'd be surprised at their answer. Maybe they'll be like, yeah, you know what? Like, I really like this, but like, yeah, but I'm too busy like all the time, like trying to chase like the latest fads and everything, which are always changing. It's funny, isn't it? Like how trends work. This is another rant of mine, I guess. But like, it's like what was cool back even like the 90s. You look at it now and you're like, what the fuck was they doing? Like people like, for example, like in R&B videos, like they're wearing all these really puffy jackets, and like the rap, like the kind of lyrics that they use for their raps, and like the kind of weird sounds they have in their music. Of course, I'm talking about music here, but like the weird like kind of like spacey like sounds that they use in the music is like really weird, and like the music video concepts were really weird as well. But that was cool at that time, right? And like in the 70s, they thought that flared disco pants and like disco music was cool, you know. And right now, like I still really love disco music, but like particular type of it, you know. I'm very like I said, I'm very particular about my taste, but like but yeah, you know, like people wouldn't say that shit is cool nowadays, you know. Like nowadays, what's cool is like, I don't know, like what is cool nowadays? Just like really edgy stuff, you know, like really like kind of like a bit abstract. Like I see, like, you know, of course I'm talking about music here, but like, you know, like nowadays, like, you know, music videos, the popular ones are kind of really like flashy, you know, and they have like lots of like mixed, like juxtaposed like themes that don't necessarily gel, you know. They kind of clash, but that's just how it is, you know. You see this in like Western and Eastern music, like, you know, K-pop. Yeah, and it's very kind of self-aggrandizing, I guess. You know, it's very like, you know, yeah, we're the shit. And if it's not we're the shit, it's like, you know, pimping hoes. And if it's not pimping hoes, it's like, it's something like really catchy, I guess. You know, like what was that song? Blow a kiss, fire a gun, da da da, someone to lean on. It's like, it's catchy, you know. It has this catchiness to it, even the lyrics, right? But like, it doesn't mean anything because like, blow a kiss, fire a gun, okay. You know, I'm not going to like be enlightened by hearing that, but like, it's like it has a certain type of thing to it, you know. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to ramble on about my own taste, but like, yeah, hopefully that's given you a bit of perspective in terms of, you know, like, yeah, in terms of cool versus beautiful. You know, what you personally find beautiful versus what is cool, right? You know, and they could be opposed sometimes, but like, it's good to have that knowledge, right? You know, it makes our experience a lot deeper. So cool. I hope that was insightful. And as always, I'll catch you guys next entry. I hope you're having a great day. You know, like myself. Peace out. I'll see you later. Bye.